It is entitled Preserving a Tradition, Lefkara Lace. Pat's parents lived in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for much of the 1970s and early 1980s. During this time, Pat had occasion to travel often, meeting her parents and other family members on vacations in distant lands. In August 1982, Pat vacationed in the island of Cyprus in the Mediterranean Sea. I have a sneaking suspicion that she's done some of her research while traveling. And her objectives are to collect information on her topic and to carefully support her points. I thought I'd do. Could you please? That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
The village of Lefkara sits 800 feet above sea level on the southern slopes of the Troodos Mountains on the island of Cyprus, smack dab in the middle. This is a photo of Lefkara. With a population of roughly 1,100 people, it is well known around the world for a very distinctive type of lace called Lefkara lace. For purposes of today's discussion, I will refer to it as Lefkara lace, a little bit easier. That's okay. That's okay. The Cypriot women have made lace for centuries. First documented in roughly the 12th century, lace making has a very rich history, but there's not a whole lot of written documentation about how the craft evolved. The lace made in Lefkara is the best known. The Venetians inspired Lefkara lace during their occupation of Cyprus from 1489 to 1571. Thank you. Lefkara became a resort for the Venetian noblewomen. This allowed the local women access to the Venetian lace, and they adapted the lace and made it their own. Legend has it that Leonardo da Vinci purchased a piece of Lefkara lace for the high altar of the Milan Cathedral during a visit in the 15th century. Lefkara lace is well known and much sought after, then and now. Lefkara lace is very distinctive and has very particular characteristics. It is made on Irish linen. It is made from French pearl thread. It comes in 3 colors. The thread comes in 3 colors: That would be white, brown, and beige. Hold on. Oh, most important, it's reversible. Each side the sides are nearly indistinguishable from each other. So the front looks like the back. There is no up, there is no down. You can see that on this example here, and I will pass a piece around. There are basic designs, approximately 10, but they are made unique by the woman who makes the lace. The designs are taken from nature, whether by their name or the characteristics. And they are geometric, as you can see. Some of the designs include this spider web design. You can see it's very intricate, and it has the little squares, tendrils emanating from the center. They have a sunshine design. This is an example of the sunshine, as is this up here. And again, you can see it has individual characteristics. Some have the holes in the center versus the complete design. There is a Byzantine design. This napkin here has aspects of the Byzantine design. There's also the river design, which is also called the Da Vinci design. That is this zigzag line running through the border of this table runner. And the Da Vinci design is actually 2 rows of diamond-shaped, 2 rows of diamond shapes. All Lefkara lace is handmade. Next slide, please. It is handed down from generation to generation, from mother to daughter, and in this instance, from grandmother to granddaughter. The women of Lefkara, you can find them today sitting in the narrow streets in groups, creating their lace. And there are many different pieces that they create. It can be placemats, little coasters, napkins, table runners, tablecloths, curtains. There are a variety of pieces that they make. Education comes early. It's informal, exposure to the lace making, and then formal education. Many of the women who make Lefkara lace today are really quite old. The younger women of Lefkara do not have the interest in this art. And in 2009, UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, included Lefkara lace on their representative list of the, hold on, I do have to refer to my note, I cannot remember. It's the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Inclusion on this list will help to ensure that Lefkara lace, the tradition and the art, is preserved for centuries in the future. Thank you.
highly qualified. Did we ever vote for best table topics?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Please complete your evaluations and vote for best speaker. And I would like to introduce Brad, who is standing in as our general evaluator.
Thank you. I now have the opportunity to introduce each of the evaluators and hear their picture take on their respective speakers. I'd now like to introduce Julie, who will be evaluating Ann.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Ann, very good. Project 6, vocal variety. No more excuses, right?
Right.
Excellent information that you brought to us. I do want to say, so as far as the topic selection, it was satisfactory. The volume, bless you, the volume of your voice, it was very pleasing, which is another thing that you needed to do here. So your voice is very pleasing, you smile, it's a beautiful smile that you have. Came out from the lectern, which is very good. We're back here, but also here. You did need to, your visual aid here was good for you, but it was hard for us, we couldn't read it. So my recommendation for improvement would be possibly to have index cards in your hand or some notes, or to have that visual just be larger so that we can see it as well, so we can follow it along with you. The body language was good, but you hold your hands a little bit too much, so that can be distracting. The vocal variety, I felt that you could do more. You could, when you want to make a point or emphasize a point, pause. Silence makes everyone pay attention, draws your audience back to you again. So use more of that vocal variety. Up, you know, you may want to make a statement, and then quiet. You know, use more of that. It's fun to do as well, to practice that. Let's see. I think I like the topic. I like that you came out in front of the lectern, like I said. Again, great presence. I love the information that you presented to us. And I appreciate the speech. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Grant? There you have it. Yay!
And now it's my pleasure to introduce Ron, who will be evaluating Dan's speech. I certainly understand. Thank you, Ron.
Dan, your speech. What I'm going to do is just go through what you were to research your topic. I can say that was outstanding. Your information was more. I'm not a fan of sports, but the way your speech started off, I think you brought us all in. We were all extremely interested. I've heard the Lakers story, but never that detail or facts. That was really great. That was awesome. You had statistics, which are in your Project 7. You need to be aware of that. You had great statistics. You had great examples, so you followed through that area. And you also had visual aids. You actually put into visual aids. I really liked all the facts that you had, the dates, the times, the names, exactly where Project 7 is, what you're supposed to be doing in your speech. That was very good. And you also kept it our level where we could understand it. You didn't go into technical terms that people probably wouldn't understand. You did use some terms that probably we're not aware of, but otherwise that was very good. One of the questions was, how did the speaker topic apply to the audience? You got us interested. I don't think anybody knew where you were going with it. I did. It was the smoothest transition I've ever seen. And we're all here entrepreneurs. We're selling, and to draw someone in and begin to talk about a topic they like, and then says, oh, by the way, here's your credit card with their logo. It was awesome. It was very detailed. It was very fact-filled. You mentioned dates and locations, and your material was supported. You supported all the information that you stated. That was very good. All of the, you had information from the past, which was in the 30s. It was really far back that none of us were born. And then you had information that was great. It brought us up to today, why their name, where the name came from. And your purpose, it was real, it was very crafty the way you brought us into this information, and then finally you begin to tell us what you had to offer, what you were selling. So you were selling and not selling, which is very hard for any entrepreneur, but which is also very good, because no one likes to be sold to. We like to hear about what you have, and then we're like, oh, I'll be interested in that. So overall, that was awesome. The only weakness there was you had notes. You had a lot of notes, and if you had to do it again, you know, you ain't gonna learn it. And I understand selling it. Eventually, you would have known like the back of your hand. It was gonna be really good, because I would have never known that you weren't a Laker fan from the So overall, again, I say that the transition was smooth. It was an awesome marketing infomercial commercial. So thank you, Dan. We look forward to it.
And now I'd like to introduce Joanne, who will be evaluating Pat.
Pat, you did an excellent job of making the topic interesting by giving us a cultural perspective. The visual aids were beautiful, and your description of the detailing really allowed us to understand the history and how the tradition came about and is passed down from generation to generation. Your points were well supported by statistics, your research, and your visual examples. You could improve the quality of your speech by practicing more and being more independent of your notes. However, you knew exactly where to zero in on your notes, so we could tell that you had practiced. And I thought that was really good. Your pauses were very important because it allowed us to look at your visuals and think about what you were saying, and it had really good impact. The fact that this tradition has made the UN list for preserving a tradition really had a lot of impact. You clearly introduced your subject, developed your body, and made a fine closing that was on time. So I thought you did a very good job with your speech.
Thank you. I'd like to call for a timer report.
The only one who qualified on time was Ron. The other two were short.
All right, I'd like to call on people to vote for the best evaluator.
It was close, man. Wow. Vote once and vote often.
Cast your vote to the vote counter.
Yes, ma'am.
The general evaluation of the meeting. I think in 7th grade I had to read the book, A Tale of Two Cities, and I think it begins with the phrase, the best of times and the worst of times. I think that's really an apt description of our meeting today. I think we knew in advance that attendance could be spotty because of the holidays, and we obviously didn't have some of our primary functionaries here today. So, in the best tradition of Toastmasters, people have stepped up and taken on additional roles and stepped into roles they obviously didn't have time to prepare for. I think this is one of the things that I'm most proud about this group is really the opportunity to persevere and press on. Each meeting is very effective. I thought the speeches today were effective. The evaluators did a good job. Julie, I really enjoyed your demonstrating some of the techniques that were called for in the speech, emphasizing the effectiveness of silence. And innovation.
That was awesome.
Ron, I thought your evaluation was spot on. I do agree that people would not have known that Dan was not a Lakers fan, and were very impressed with the research and facts that he had done. I'm also very pleased that it was recognized the enthusiasm when he got to his real interest of banking.
Yeah.
And then we saw the Dan that we're used to seeing. And finally, Joanne, I thought, again, although your evaluation was short, it was accurate. And overall, I thought we had a very successful meeting. There are rooms for improvement, obviously attendance, being here on time. And I'm guilty of that myself, and we all need to improve on that. We could all do a better job of making sure during the table topics we use the word of the day. And I have to tell you, I think you've taken it to a whole new level by interspersing your questions in a poem. Yeah. And that was very cool, but let's not do that again. Thank you very much.
That was very cute. Yeah, well, the metamorphosis of this meeting since I started has been truly amazing and very, very fabulous. So now I'd like to call for